Hey there, welcome to Messes with Michelle. If you're returning, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. My name's Michelle. Today's video is super satisfying because I'm going to be detailing my Dirt Devil Featherlight Upright Vacuum in today's video. Here are a few before shots of the vacuum so you can see exactly what I'm dealing with. This Dirt Devil vacuum has been in the basement and I've been using it in the basement, so you can see that it's been jam-packed full of dust and debris and who knows what else is inside that canister. But I haven't really given it a lot of attention of cleaning this vacuum, but I wanted to dive in and give this vacuum a really good detail today and make sure that I give it a nice dusting as well as clean out that dirty canister to bring it back to life. This vacuum is really trusty. It's been around for a while with me and I want to make sure that I was able to keep it up and running so this way I can use it for many more years to come. So I have been putting this off for quite some time. I haven't been giving it the attention that it deserves, but today's video I'm changing that because I am making sure that this entire vacuum gets a good cleaning from top to bottom, inside and outside. If this is the first time discovering my channel, thanks so much for clicking on this video. You can find cleaning motivation, how-to videos, as well as DIYs. So if you'd like to see future videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And also don't forget to hit that notification bell so this way you can get notified every time I upload a video. I'm starting by cleaning the canister on the vacuum, and there's a small gray release button on the vacuum that you press, and that will release the canister from the base of the vacuum. Next, I'm going to take off the top red lid, and with a slight twist, you pull up and then the lid will come right off. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to clean it a little bit later on in this video. Inside the canister, you'll find your HEPA filter, and the Dirt Devil that I have does not have a washable filter. You will have to dispose this. And you can see here, this filter is just loaded with dust and debris. And I'm going to show you the date on the filter of when I should have cleaned it, and it's August of 2017. So I'm well over 4 years overdue. I'm filming this in October 2021. So as I mentioned earlier, I did not give this vacuum the TLC that it needed, and that filter says a lot. It is just so gross. It has so much dust and debris and fur and who knows what else located inside. This used to be my go-to vacuum to vacuum the house before buying my Dyson, and as a workaround to not always buy a filter every year and not spend the extra money, I actually would take a butter knife and I would run the butter knife along the inside grooves of the filter to take off any sort of caked on dust or debris, just to stretch out the lifespan of the filter. Now this was a great workaround for the time, but definitely I should have changed them out for a fresh filter so this way I would have top performance. But back then I definitely wanted to save a little bit of cash, so that was my workaround and it seemed to do the trick. But now it's definitely well overdue to clean this filter out, so I decided that I was going to buy a brand new filter, which I'll show you a little bit later in this video, and you can see the before and after of what it should look like when it's new versus what it looks like right now. I've laid down my vacuum and now I've exposed the bottom of the vacuum, and I'm using a Phillips screwdriver to remove 4 screws located at the bottom of the vacuum. This will allow you to be able to take out the brush roller and to clean it, which I'll show you a little bit later on in this video. Once you have all the screws removed, you'll be able to remove this bottom plate that protects the brush roll. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to clean this a little bit later in the video. With the cover removed, you'll be able to remove the brush roller, and as a tip, when you are removing your brush roller, release the left side first, followed by the right. The right side, you'll see there's a belt on the edge, and just to make it easier to remove the brush, releasing the left side will give you less tension on the right side, and you'll be able to just slide the belt right off to remove your brush roll. I'm using a paintbrush to really get down to the nitty-gritty of this vacuum. I found that the paintbrush is really great to get into the small nooks and crannies and crevices that I wouldn't necessarily be able to use a regular cleaning cloth. So I definitely would recommend using a paintbrush or just any sort of brush to really get down to the nitty-gritty of your vacuum, and this way you'll give it a really good deep clean and a really good detail. This is the first time actually deep cleaning this vacuum, so I wasn't really too familiar with a lot of components of the vacuum. I noticed 2 screws were located where the base of the canister sits, and I thought I'd give it a try and just release these screws to see what they were attached to, and they were actually holding in place the front cover of the light. So I took this off, set it aside, and I just dusted around the light to make sure that I had top performance with the light when I'm vacuuming. So I will be cleaning the front cover a little bit later in this video. So I'm just continuing cleaning all the parts of the vacuum using my paintbrush. As I was cleaning the bottom of the vacuum, I noticed a lot of fine dust in the air, so I changed my strategy slightly. When I clean the body of the vacuum, I grab my Dyson, I'm using my wand attachment, I have the vacuum on, and I'm just using the paintbrush to detail around the nooks and crannies and crevices of the base and body, and the vacuum is catching any fine dust or debris that are in the air. So this actually worked quite well, and I was really happy with this strategy. And I also put on a mask because I could feel that when I was cleaning out the vacuum that a lot of the fine dust was starting to affect me, so I just thought the mask would be the best option as I'm doing this part of the cleaning. I've completed dusting a lot of the large dust off the vacuum, so I'm now using a multi-surface cleaner and a microfiber cloth, and I'm giving the entire vacuum a really good wipe down. So I am spraying the cloth periodically and then wiping down the vacuum. I was trying to avoid spraying a lot of spray on the area as much as possible, so this way I wouldn't affect any of the motor components and oversaturate any of the areas. And I found that even though I dusted the entire vacuum, I still had a few areas that I really had to get to the small nooks and crannies. So I took my Phillips screwdriver and I put it around the microfiber cloth, and this way I could poke it into the small areas that need to get cleaned a little bit deeper. I didn't realize that the wheels come off, so as I was cleaning the bottom of the vacuum, the wheels fell off, and it was a great opportunity to spray down the wheels and give this area a really good deep clean with my multi-surface spray. This is the Crevice Tool, and you can see that it's jam-packed full of debris. So now I'm just going to give it a really good cleaning by taking my screwdriver and just removing any of the debris and dust that's stuck at the very base. I have been using this Crevice Tool, and now I can see why it hasn't had great suction, just because it was loaded with so much debris. Next, I'm going to clean the brush roll, and there's just a bit of string wrapped around the brush roll. I'm going to use scissors and just cut the string in half and then pull it off. I was actually quite surprised that the brush roll wasn't that bad, considering the filter in the canister was just loaded full of dust and debris. So I just cut away the string, I wiped off the bristles with a cloth and just shined up the brush roll, so this way it was nice and fresh looking. I didn't bother saturating it and submerging it into water just because I didn't want to get the bristles wet, but just using my paintbrush and, as I mentioned, a cloth, this did the trick and it got the brush roll looking nice and clean. Next up, I'm going to give the canister and the cleaning tools a really good deep clean with dish soap as well as a microfiber cloth. So I'm just using a microfiber cloth, warm water, and just cleaning out all the different components. And the one thing I like about Dirt Devil, it has a few different cleaning tools, but the tools can also be stored onto the vacuum, which is actually really convenient, so you know exactly where to find the tools when you need them when you're cleaning around the house. I've used a microfiber cloth and I wiped down all the different components as well as cleaning tools on the vacuum. I would recommend allowing everything to still dry overnight, just in case there's any sort of water left in any of the areas that you couldn't get to with your cloth. So I did allow all these parts to dry overnight before I started to reassemble the vacuum. It's the following day and everything has dried overnight, and now I'm going to start reassembling the vacuum. So first I'm placing on the brush roll and I'm making sure that I'm fitting the belt onto the right side of the brush and placing it back into the brush area. And then I'm going to place on the wheels and then the cover, and then I'm going to screw in the 4 screws located at the bottom of the vacuum to make sure that the plate and the wheels are secure. Now I'm placing on the cover for the light, and I'm just placing the screws back into the holes and screwing them in tightly to make sure that the cover is secure over the light. I bought a brand new filter for my Dirt Devil Featherlight, and my Dirt Devil uses the F1 model of filters, and this particular filter is made with HEPA media, and HEPA media traps 99.97% of dust and pollens and down to 0.3 microns. Dirt Devil recommends to replace your filter once a year, and I made sure to date my filter, so let's hope in 2022 I will be replacing my filter and not allow another 4 years to go by before I buy a new filter. So putting the filter in the canister is very straightforward. You just secure it into place, and then I'm taking the lid, and with a slight twist I'm going to lock the lid right back onto the canister, and then I'm going to take the canister and place it onto the base of the vacuum, ensuring that I hear the click, which means that it's securely into place. Also make sure this side hose is connected to the base to ensure that all the dust and debris is going into your vacuum when you're using it. Before we jump into the after, here's just a reminder what the vacuum looked like before detailing it. And here is the after, and just seeing this vacuum, it's just so rewarding to know all that time and effort put into cleaning it was well worth it. I can finally see through the canister, I can see the nice clean filter, and the body of the vacuum is nicely dusted. I cannot believe this is the exact same vacuum that I had just hours ago, and it was just so nice to be able to revitalize this vacuum so this way I can use it for many more years to come. And after so many years, I can finally see the power now that I have this window cleaned out. And here's just a reminder what the filter looked like before replacing it with a brand new one. And here is the after. You can see that it's well worth to put the money investment to have a brand new filter for your system. I really hope you enjoyed the super satisfying detail of my Dirt Devil Featherlight vacuum, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button on your way out, and if you know anybody that has a Dirt Devil that needs a little bit of TLC, also give this video a share to them to help them out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.